This is a guide on reinstalling the front assembly on the Apple iPhone SE 1st Gen. For the reinstallation process, we will need the following tools: a Pentalobe screwdriver, a suction cup, a plastic pick, and a Phillips screwdriver. The front assembly contains the frame, the glass digitizer, and the LCD screen. You will need to replace the entire front assembly if any of these components are broken. Turn the phone off by holding the power button and confirming the shutdown on screen. Remove 2 screws on the bottom of the phone with a Pentalobe screwdriver. Set the screws aside. Place a suction cup just above the home button. Pull on the suction cup and insert a plastic pick between the front assembly and the main body. Gently move the plastic pick along the bottom edge, separating the front assembly off the main body. Once separation is achieved, open the screen to about 30 degrees. The home button fingerprint sensor connector needs to be undone before the phone can be opened fully. Using a plastic pick, open the securing bracket over the connector and disconnect the fingerprint sensor. For a safe reinstallation process, we will need to disconnect the battery. The battery connector is located under a small metal shield. Hold the front assembly vertically and remove the 2 Phillips screws holding the shield in place. Remove the metal shield. Disconnect the battery. In order to separate the front assembly from the main body, we need to gain access to its connectors under an EM shield. Remove the 4 Phillips screws while holding the front assembly at a right angle to the main body. Remove the EM shield. Set the shield aside. Next step is to open the 3 small connectors. Use a plastic pick and gently open the connectors one by one. Separate the front assembly and place it on the desk. Some components need to be transferred from the original part onto the new assembly, namely the big metal shield, home button, front camera with light sensor, and speaker. We will start with the home button. Remove 3 Phillips screws, 1 on the home button cable and 2 more on the home button bracket. Set the bracket aside. Using a plastic pick, carefully separate the home button cable off its adhesive pad. Pick up the assembly and apply some pressure to the home button from the front. Use a plastic pick to help separate the rubber gasket. Set the home button aside. Remove 3 Phillips screws holding the speaker bracket at the top. Pick open the bracket together with the speaker and set it aside. Proceed on removing the big metal shield. Remove 2 Phillips screws on the right side, then 2 more on the left side. Pick up the metal shield from the bottom and carefully lift it up. The sensors are grounded to the metal shield with conductive tape. Pick off the sensors from the adhesive pad near the speaker contacts and carefully lift the metal shield together with the sensors and set them aside. Place the new screen on the desk and replace the big metal shield. Carefully guide all the sensors into their appropriate positions. Secure the metal shield with 2 Phillips screws on one side and 2 more screws on the other side. Replace the speaker. Clip in the speaker bracket on the left side, then push down on the right side. Replace the 3 Phillips screws. The longest one goes at the top of the speaker. Replace the home button onto the new assembly. Cover the home button with a metal shield and secure it with 2 Phillips screws. There is a tiny contact pad that is mounted on the 3rd Phillips screw that was left on the home button cable. It needs to be positioned underneath the cable on reassembly and secured with a Phillips screw. Now we can connect the front assembly to the main body. Position the front assembly at the right angle to the main body, aligning it at the top edge of the phone. Hold the assembly vertically and gently snap in all three connectors. Caution: it is very important not to force any of the connectors. All connectors are very fragile. At this point, we can test the device. Reconnect the battery and turn the phone on. If the startup graphics appear, the replacement part is installed correctly. Hold the power button to turn the phone off and confirm the shutdown on screen. Replace the metal shield and secure it with 4 Phillips screws. Replace another small metal shield covering the battery connector. Secure it with 2 Phillips screws. Bring the display assembly to a 90-degree angle to the main body and carefully reconnect the fingerprint sensor. Replace the small connector bracket over top. Close the phone starting at the top and gently squeeze around the perimeter until the front assembly snaps in place. Replace the 2 Pentalobe screws at the bottom. Turn the phone on, and we're done.